Dean Show's on.
Welcome to The Dean Show from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Dean Show comes from the man who made you pay for Nova Rex, Ain't Easy Being Cheesy, and Butch Black, the Mean Man. Join Summit City Noise producer Dean Robinson for a weekly tour featuring food, music, special events, animation, and interviews with people who are getting stuff done. This is The Dean Show.
Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday morning. That's when I wake up. Sunday morning, Sunday morning, Sunday morning. Love my pancakes. Love my pancakes. They've gotta be right. They've gotta be right. Don't wanna start Sunday. Don't wanna start Sunday with a great big fight. I don't wanna fight. Sunday morning comes after Saturday night. Sunday morning, Sunday morning. Sunday morning, reading the news. That's why I'm so blue on a Sunday morning. Put a special something in my milk and my juice.
9 Mile Restaurant serves delicious food for fine dining that families can afford. 9 Mile dinner specials include baked spaghetti Monday, baby back ribs Tuesday, Wednesday night Mexican dinners, and Thursday night Italian dinners. 9 Mile Restaurant is open 7 days a week. 9 Mile Restaurant is located 9 miles south of the Allen County Courthouse on US 27 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 9 Mile Restaurant and Catering.
In this house? Understand?
Yes, my juicy dream girl. The chicken pie.
You ruffian! You wife beater! Striking a woman when her back is turned!
Oh boy, what stamina. Only a married man could take it like that.
A mouse!
Thanks, Herman, for saving my life.
Now listen.
Hector!
Coming, Angel Cake.
Wait a minute. You gotta be tough, so your wife will look up to you instead of beating you down. You want to be the cock of the walk, don't you?
Yeah?
With plenty of wine
Yeah?
and women
Yeah?
and songs.
Yeah?
Well, all you gotta do is stay 2 rounds with this stumble bum.
Yeah? No, not him.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's up! One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8, 9, 10, he's out!
The winner and new champion!
Hello, Ma. It was a tough fight. And I'll be right home after I celebrate, you big hunk of chicken fat.
Look at the new champ.
Yippee!
What's the meaning of this, you Casanova clock? Well?
Stop! I'm the champ. It worked! She's afraid of me.
Sure, you're the champ. Let's drink a toast on it.
I'll get rid of that interfering mouse.
Three cheers for the new champ. Well. Look who's here, Herman. The old battle axe herself. Here, hold my hat and my cigar, and I'll show you how I floored Hogan.
You're groaning. You should have seen the look on Hogan's puss when I socked him.
Did you say Hogan?
Yeah.
It's Hogan!
Well, you look just like the baby I'm looking for. Upset Daisy! Upset Daisy!
9 Mile Restaurant is a great place for excellent food. 9 Mile Restaurant is also a great place to enjoy refreshing drinks. Check out our daily drink specials. Monday, domestic bottled beer for $1.50 and domestic draft for $1.25. Tuesday, 12-ounce drafts of Blue Moon for $2 and large pitchers for $6.50. Wednesday is Margarita Night. Margaritas for $2.50. Small pitchers for $6. $11 large pitchers. Plus, Corona and Dos Equis for $2.75 each. Thursday, Miller Lite, Budweiser, and Bud Light in a bottle for $2.25. Friday, Jaeger Bombs for $3.50 and Busch Light for $2. Saturday, Irish Car Bombs, 2 for $8, and Screwdrivers for $2.50. Sunday, domestic beer buckets, 5 bottles for $10. Have fun and drink responsibly at 9 Mile Restaurant. 9 Mile Restaurant and Catering. Dose of Landis. This is the Landis moment. Dose.
Jeff, what's coming up with the next episode of A Dose of Landis?
Well, you remember last week when you guys voted on what was your favorite show for A Dose of Landis? Well, you get to find out this week, and not only you get to find out what is the best show, we'll see stuff from Fort Wayne Retro, such as the Subterranean back in the 90s.
What is Subterranean?
It's like your alternative type of store. They had fashions, books, all kinds of things that you would not expect.
What's up with the Subterranean now?
Well, it's now a parking lot, unfortunately.
Watch A Dose of Landis, 11 p.m. Thursdays on Access Fort Wayne 2. Dose. Israel police are currently investigating Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for allegedly conspiring with a newspaper publisher to stifle a competing newspaper that is considered a pro-Netanyahu publication. There are two more major Israel police investigations into Netanyahu within this story, which should be a bigger deal considering it involves the Israeli Prime Minister, graft, corruption, commercial news in Israel, submarine contracts, and 3 billionaires, including a Las Vegas casino magnate, an Israeli super spy turned Hollywood movie mega producer, and Mariah Carey's ex-boyfriend. Somehow, commercial media companies in the United States still don't believe the Big Bibi corruption marathon has lasted long enough to be considered a serious event. Yet. Haaretz headline: Sheldon Adelson's pro-Netanyahu daily cuts circulation. Is billionaire Sheldon Adelson beginning to cut back on his investment in Israel Hayom, the free newspaper considered the mouthpiece of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? Since the 2015 elections, when Adelson was apparently helping Netanyahu, the newspaper was printing 550,000 copies on weekends. It ceased publishing its weekend circulation numbers in January, and it now refuses to confirm how many issues it prints on weekends. The drop in circulation follows deterioration in relations between Israel Hayom editor Amos Regev and the Prime Minister's office. However, observers say there is a more significant break between Netanyahu and Adelson. The latest storm around the revelation of tape-recorded conversations between Netanyahu and Yedioth Ahronoth publisher Arnon Moses likely deepened the crisis. The tapes revealed that Netanyahu was trying to reach an arrangement to limit the circulation of Israel Hayom, or the number of ads in the newspaper, in exchange for positive coverage in Yedioth Ahronoth. The Jerusalem Post headline: Secret recordings reveal details of Netanyahu newspaper corruption case. Excerpts from the conversation illustrate the moves the two were planning. What's the bottom line? How can we do this quickly? We can legislate it. Here, the Prime Minister referred to legislation in 2014 termed the Israel Hayom Bill, which sought to end the paper's free distribution. The bill did not become law. Netanyahu then allegedly stated that he would ask Israel Hayom owner Sheldon Adelson, who he referred to as the Gingy, or redhead, if such a law was acceptable to him. I want to be able to speak with Dick Gingy. He'll be in Israel in 2 weeks. We need to see how to do something he can live with. Maybe a different law. I want to make it easier, not more difficult. Benjamin Netanyahu was serving both as Israel's prime minister and communications minister when he and Moses discussed the newspaper plot to manipulate Israeli news in 2014. Sputnik headline: Netanyahu leaves communication minister post amid corruption investigation. Isaac Herzog of the Zionist Union Party requested in January that the Israeli Supreme Court require Benjamin Netanyahu to resign from the position of communications minister that Netanyahu held alongside his role as prime minister. Recordings obtained by the Attorney General of Israel purport to document that Moses gave good coverage of Netanyahu during the 2015 election in exchange for Netanyahu's help in curtailing the circulation of the Yedioth's #1 competitor, the free daily Israel Hayom. The Hayom's owner, Sheldon Adelson, is a Las Vegas casino magnate, billionaire, and Trump supporter who provides financial support for the Zionist Organization of America and the Republican Jewish Coalition. Politico headline: Jewish Republicans torn over Trump. The most prominent group of Jewish Republican donors in the country gathered at Sheldon Adelson's lavish Venetian hotel this weekend. Adelson, who spent more than $100 million over the past 2 election cycles to get a Republican-elected commander-in-chief, including tens of millions on Trump's behalf, was present throughout the weekend event. Looking to have a presence at the Republican-Jewish coalition, the White House dispatched Trump spokesman Boris Epstein, a Russian-born Jewish immigrant, to Las Vegas for the weekend gathering. Behind the scenes, the White House is taking steps to win over Republican Jews, a small but influential group. It has enlisted the 83-year-old Adelson, whose estimated $30 billion net worth has made him one of the Republican Party's most sought-after donors, as an unofficial advisor. In March 2014, Sheldon Adelson, Kate Hudson, Barbara Streisand, James Caan, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Keanu Reeves attended a party honoring Benjamin Netanyahu at the Malibu seaside estate owned by Arnon Milchan. Milchan is the Oscar-winning Hollywood producer behind more than 100 major movies, including The Revenant, Pretty Woman, Gone Girl, LA Confidential, Heat, Natural Born Killers, Fight Club, and Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip. Milchan is also a former Israeli intelligence operative and the subject of the 2011 book by Meir Doran and Joseph Gelman called Confidential: The Life of a Secret Agent Turned Hollywood Tycoon. The Hollywood Reporter. Headline: Mogul Arnon Milchan questioned in Israel's Netanyahu probe. An Israeli police official says Israeli investigators questioned Hollywood producer Arnon Milchan in the U.S. last week as part of a corruption investigation into Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The police official spoke Tuesday on condition of anonymity in line with police regulations. The Netanyahus are said to have received more than $100,000 worth of cigars and liquor from Milchan. Netanyahu denies any wrongdoing. The investigation, dubbed File 1000, reportedly concerns claims that Netanyahu improperly accepted lavish gifts from wealthy supporters, including Milchan and Australian billionaire James Packer. People. Headline: 5 things to know about Mariah Carey's billionaire ex, James Packer. 1. He is very, 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 very wealthy. According to Forbes, Packer is estimated to be worth $4.7 billion. He went on to become the chairperson of Crown Limited, a giant gaming, entertainment, and resort group in Australia. He is estimated to be the 4th richest person in Australia. His father is the late media mogul Kerry Francis Bullmore Packer. Australian Broadcasting Corporation News. Headline: James Packer wanted for questioning by Israeli police in Netanyahu corruption probe. The Australian Federal Police told the ABC they did not discuss assistance requests from other countries, but that the agency works closely with its international counterparts to investigate and prosecute allegations of corruption. Netanyahu has been questioned 4 times by police in relation to the corruption probe and allegedly receiving inappropriate and undeclared gifts. Netanyahu has described James Packer as a good friend. The relationship between one of Australia's richest men and the Prime Minister of Israel can be traced back to a star-studded dinner held in Netanyahu's honor in March 2014. The evening's host was Hollywood producer and Israeli billionaire businessman Arnon Milchan. Mr. Milchan was the guy who brought James Packer to Israel, who introduced him to the Prime Minister. Raviv Drucker, one of Israel's most high-profile investigative journalists, told 730. Milchan knew Mr. Packer's father, so they are very close. Packer soon became part of the pack. Milchan was already part of a close circle of billionaires Netanyahu surrounded himself with. The star-studded Malibu house party for Benjamin Netanyahu, hosted by Arnon Milchan in 2014, was attended by Sheldon Adelson. Jewish Telegraphic Agency. Headline: Sheldon Adelson may be deposed in Netanyahu corruption investigation. Jewish American billionaire Sheldon Adelson may be questioned in connection with a corruption investigation of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli media reported. Army Radio quoted an Adelson spokesman as saying that a request had not yet been made to question Adelson. The reports about Adelson come on the heels of other reports that Israeli billionaire Arnon Milchan, a filmmaker who lives in Los Angeles, gave testimony to Israeli police that supports indicting the Prime Minister. Milchan reportedly later walked back that testimony. Police investigators have reportedly contacted authorities in the United States to obtain a deposition from Adelson, a Las Vegas gaming magnate and the owner of the Israeli newspaper Israel Hayom. The investigation is looking into allegations Netanyahu and Arnon Moses, publisher of the daily Yediot Asharonot, discussed a deal in which Netanyahu would receive favorable coverage in Yediot in exchange for legislation that would cut into the circulation of Sheldon Adelson's paper. Financial Times headline: Netanyahu and his friends caught in the spotlight. Potentially more serious is a Justice Ministry probe into alleged corruption around military procurement of boats and submarines, which was upgraded to a full criminal investigation last week. Netanyahu has not been named as a suspect in the affair, but investigators are said to be looking at whether he played a role in the cancellation of a tender for 4 Navy patrol boats, business that was then awarded to a unit of ThyssenKrupp, the German conglomerate. The scandal broke after it emerged late last year that David Shimron, the Prime Minister's family lawyer and second cousin, also represents a local sales representative for ThyssenKrupp's Marine Systems subsidiary. 3 probes, called Case 1000, Case 2000, and Case 3000 by police, have dominated headlines since November and brought calls by opposition lawmakers for Mr. Netanyahu to resign. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is the leading member of the right-wing Likud party in Israel. The Likud party held a meeting in Hadera, Israel on Wednesday, March 15, 2017. The Jerusalem Post headline: Candidates preparing for a post-Netanyahu era that might not be near. Netanyahu's fight with Finance Minister Moshe Kahlon over the Israeli Broadcasting Corporation took center stage as the Prime Minister called for its formation to be delayed again, and Kahlon refused. After it has become clear that Netanyahu initiated the last election over a bill intended to harm his favorite newspaper, Israel Hayom, even such a small issue could cause an election in Israel. The gift-accepting affair, the problematic negotiations with a newspaper owner, and the submarine scandal have all given politicians who see themselves as future prime ministers new hope that Netanyahu will not keep his job forever. The investigations are expected to lead to a police recommendation to indict the prime minister sometime next month. A police recommendation for an indictment does not mean that Attorney General Avichai Mandelblit will accept the request. Israel police are trying to determine whether or not Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu improperly received gifts worth tens of thousands of dollars from billionaire businessmen who are major players in the U.S. entertainment industry. Israel police are also trying to determine whether or not Communications Minister Benjamin Netanyahu conspired to manipulate commercial news media in Israel. Additionally, Israel police are trying to determine whether or not Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu awarded a military construction contract to a personal business associate. I think this story is a big deal, a Joe Biden big deal. But I have to admit, the Jerusalem Post knows way better than me when they say there is still a long way to go before Netanyahu's investigations become serious. No amount of Mariah Carey walking away is going to change that.
The government man
Thanks for watching The Dean Show. I'll be here next week.
Thank you.